Why hasn't the housing market crashed yet? I mean, if you read any kind of news outlet, especially late 2022, early 2023, they were just shouting from the mountaintops impending doom. There's one major reason the housing market hasn't crashed yet. It's kind of multifaceted, but low inventory. Still, historically low inventory. Let's talk a little bit about what plays into that historically low inventory. The biggest factor that's causing there to not be much inventory on the market is that sellers are only selling if they have to. Very few sellers are moving up to a different house because they locked in that insanely low 2 and some change or 3% interest rate back in 2021. So that means that people aren't enticed to want to move up or downsize, honestly, because they don't want to give up the insanely good interest rate they currently have. So the only houses that are coming to the market right now are for people that have to move. There's just not a lot of inventory coming to the market. And if it weren't for the interest rates being at 6 or 7% like they've been the last few months, we would be seeing prices continuing to skyrocket, because the bottom line is people still need to buy houses. There's people moving specifically to Arizona for jobs and they need to purchase a home, and many people can afford, it's tight for some, but many people can afford the house prices where they're at right now. If it weren't for those high interest rates, we'd be seeing housing prices continuing to skyrocket. So the low inventory is kind of keeping the prices propped up, even though the interest rates are higher, which would kind of normally push it down. So it's like there's two opposing forces: low inventory holding up the price and higher interest rates pushing down the price, which means we're kind of like sitting in this sort of equilibrium space. We've seen some mild ups and downs depending on the price point and the neighborhood that you're in, but yeah, that's kind of what's going on. That's why the housing market hasn't crashed. That's why the prices haven't come down dramatically. It's because there's not enough houses, or maybe I would say there's just enough houses for the people that absolutely have to buy something. I think that's how I'm going to put it. The bottom line is there's a whole bunch of things that are going to need to happen for there to be any kind of dramatic change in the market, either up or down. I don't see much of that happening. If anything, what I'm seeing is a tightening of that inventory even more, that we might see prices tick up a little bit more, even with the interest rates where they're at. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I hope this gave you a little bit of insight as to what is happening specifically in the Phoenix housing market. I can't speak to every major city across the country because everyone's a little different. This is what we're seeing here in our area. If you want more insights on the housing market as a whole and specific insights on the luxury market, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next video.